going gone to a good cause. BNZ's Art Collection is about to be sold to fund a charitable foundation. The collection includes some of our most well-known artists like Colin McCann, Rita Angus and Gordon Walters as well. Kiwis will get a chance to see the artworks when they go on tour before they go under the hammer, and Charles Nino at Webb's auction house says it'll easily be the biggest art auction Aotearoa has seen.
The collection was started in 1982, and what makes it different, what makes it really stand out from any other privately held collection of New Zealand art, is that right then at the very beginning they enlisted the help, the advice of the legendary Wellington art dealer Peter McLeavy, who was one of the key figures, basically built the market for contemporary art, to advise them to select all the works. And what he did is he really created basically a museum collection. Everything here is the best of the best.
Yeah, let's cut to the chase. This is what the people at home will want to know. Obviously, a lot of these pieces, all these pieces are being sold. So let's start with the whole hog. I mean, in total, how much do you think all of these pieces would be worth altogether?
It's difficult to say because of the fact that works like this really haven't been offered before. People haven't had the opportunity to buy something like this painting here behind me. There have been others, but this one, The Fugitive by Tony Fulmerson, is one of his very most regarded paintings, and I mean, you can try and attach a price to it, but who knows? It's hard to say, but upwards of 10 million, I would say, and I'm probably being conservative.
Sorry, upwards of 10 million for that one behind you alone?
Sorry, for the whole collection. This one again will be very, very high value, but the whole collection is worth more than $10 million. It'll easily be the biggest art auction ever held in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. That 10 million, Charles, where's it going?
Where's it going? It's going to a foundation that the BNZ is establishing. So all of their proceeds are going to this foundation, a charitable foundation, to support organisations doing work in New Zealand communities. Webb's as well is contributing a significant portion of our fees to that foundation. And
why sell them off, Charles?
Why sell them off? Well, I think it just felt like time. There were I can't speak for the motivations, but I think it felt like the right time, and the funds are going to do very, very good work. But from from the moment of the auction night, from the moment the gavel goes down later this year, it will become the job of many New Zealanders out there to now be the custodians of these really these great cultural treasures.
You've spoken about The Fugitive behind you there. Tell us about some of the other artists that are featured here. I guess some of the big names that people might know. I've got some on my bit of paper, but you can run through them.
Oh, it's really, I mean, it's as if the stores to a major museum, the doors were opened up and we were granted access to the who's who of New Zealand art. There are a number of major works by Colin McCann, which will be the most valuable works by the artist ever to have been offered at auction. Major works by Gordon Walters, which again will be the most major works, the most significant works ever sold. Milan Merkosic, Robin White, Don Binney, the list goes on. It really is a who's who, the best of the best, and there is one opportunity to acquire them.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at one of these Gordon Walters, for those who aren't watching, rather, it's sort of that lovely black and white with the koru on it. It's one that a lot of people will know. Tell us, I guess, just how unprecedented this is. I mean, for example, have you and your work ever seen anything like this? How much of a big deal is this?
This is a big deal. I mean, this is the biggest event ever to happen in the art market. I'll tell you a little bit of a secret about art auctions, is that we spend most of our time trying to find the works to sell. The market is very strong, and the public is very interested in investing in art. And if you find the right works, you can sell them for phenomenal prices. Well, this is something that really only happens once in a lifetime, that this huge number of exceptional works come up at the same time. You mentioned the Gordon Walters, the black and white Gordon Walters. Well, it's one of those works where, you know, often people come up and say, look, I'm really looking for a very nice black and white Gordon Walters. And, you know, I definitely will always take the details, and they'll be getting a call because we now have one, but they don't come up. They don't come up. It feels like they do because it's such iconic subject matter. It could, you know, it could almost be New Zealand's flag or, you know, postage stamp or national emblem. They say so much about who we are, but they don't come up for sale. And it's extremely, extremely rare. It's really part of the fabric of who we are.
Where have they all been exactly? I mean, I assume they haven't been at a BNZ hanging behind the property finance unit or something like that. Where have they been? A basement somewhere, or where have they come from? No, one of the fantastic things, and you know, the BNZ have been such fantastic custodians of these works, and one of the fantastic things about the way in which they've handled and looked after the collection is that by and large all of the works have been on display all over the country. And I know that there's a lot of New Zealanders out there that have, you know, specific stories and experiences and memories that involve these works, and that is one of the things that makes it truly a national icon. The works have been a living part of people's lives for many, many years. Charles Nino from Webb's auction house there on what's set to be the largest art auction New Zealand has ever seen.